What makes a group of people organize themselves to a particular cause? And what is it that fuels that group? What is their battery? Their patrol? To embrace their group or their cause they fight for wholeheartedly and love them, on the sole condition they follow the pack and stick to the narrative. But what about groups whose love and activism turn to disdain, hate, and eventually, violence? What causes these groups of love to turn to such terror, malice, and extremism? To be a peddler of fear and propaganda? Is that same love that brings them together only a product of hate? Or perhaps that love for what or whom they fight for breeds a terrible resentment and need for destruction of anyone they perceive as against them. Those who persecute and denigrate the ones they fight and have assembled in love to protect. I speak today, of course, of the once peaceful transgender activism group turned domestic extremists. New reporting from CNN has revealed that the FBI has been tracking their movement since early November, and there are whisperings within the department of labeling them a full-fledged terrorist organization, based on the frequency and patterns of the most recent attacks. This was first reported by Brian Stelter at CNN, the most trusted name in news. They're calling themselves the females of vaginas and lady dicks, or phallids. Originated from San Francisco in 2016, their chapters grew fast and wide. Within a year, they were in every major city in California, Oregon, Washington, and even some parts of Arizona, where the most recent attacks have taken place and the subject of our story. Many prominent gay leaders such as Elton John, Anderson Cooper, and Justin Bieber have come out in condemnation. Mr. John saying, "It's about love, not hate." However, Caitlyn Jenner and B. Arthur remain mysteriously silent, causing much speculation to their support, or lack thereof, on this matter. Welcome to Tyrant House Company News, real fake news you can trust, brought to you by the Sinaloa Drug Cartel and Pfizer. Wake up with THC. We have our very own investigative journalist here, who is a lawyer and a Jew. Ben Shapiro, Mr. Shapiro, thanks for joining us to discuss these terrifying group tactics and help walk us through these most recent attacks.
Which was unfortunately, as you know, not recorded by any cameras except a 5-year-old child's flip phone that we cannot view due to the presence of child pornography found on that very child's aforementioned phone by the FBI, which is still under investigation.
What a shame.
Yes, I would like to see that footage myself. The extremists were first to have thought to be using large ball bearings secured in thick, multicolored leather pouches and blackjack batons to ambush and attack straight couples and cisgender males.
Vicious.
Usually at night in dimly lit places, like the parking lots of abandoned buildings, Chuck E. Cheese's, or strip clubs.
Depravity.
However, upon further investigation, it was discovered by myself and confirmed by a confidential FBI informant that the ball bearings were actually the initiated group members' own severed testicles. They had previously removed and decided to have them coated, bronze, if you will, with a heavy, polished metal.
But does that mean those pouches were...
Yes. As I'm sure everyone listening has realized, they had their scrotal sacs, which had previously encased their much lighter and non-metallic testicles, shaved and tanned like an animal hide, only to use them as an effective pouch and weapon, loaded with their heavy, metallicized coating, violently beating these poor men to death in some cases. They have the ability to get a lot of momentum on their swings due to the elasticity of the scrotums, and the skin is surprisingly thick and durable. One wouldn't consider it out of the realm of possibilities to have that interior of their car covered in this.
This is terrible, Ben. I never would have imagined that I would have to live in a world like this. This peaceful civilization we've cultivated would resort to such madness. This is medieval. It's barbaric.
Indeed it is. Another fact that was previously misreported was the presence of blackjack batons. As it turns out, they were reinforced, extra sturdy, double-length, long-handled dildos.
My God, who would make such lewd and frightening weapons?
Well, they are quite common nowadays, available in most sex shops, Amazon, and some local delicatessens. Though I don't recommend those, they never come in the correct color. This is mostly due to the uptick in the porn industry and the lack of self-esteem in women and some men. Actually, I've just finished another piece on this particular subject. If you'd like to...
Let's stick to the one breaking story at a time on this one, Ben. Can you give us some details on the most recent attack?
Oh, sure, of course. Phalid is a highly organized group. They coordinate their attacks with almost military-like strategy. They strike from multiple directions, two at once, with less numbers than the party they attack. Their weapons hidden from sight to bolster the confidence of the ones they accost, and that is when the third and largest party attacks, armed with their tanned sacks filled with metallic testes. From behind, flanking the already besieged party and overwhelms them instantly. After all the victims are down, the entire group seems to instinctively, without a word or gesture to one another, attack the weakest of the males who, by all reports, was the first to try to give in or submit.
It's almost as if they've evolved to wild pack animals. Predators like lions who always go for the injured gazelle. They go for the cuck of the group. Excuse me. Just getting over my last COVID stint. I'm triple vaxxed. I actually had a feral transy who had gotten away from the pack and go after my youngest son's testes the other day.
Well, it just goes to show you the desperation of these people. They should know those boys' testicles are for the church to get a hold of and no others.
That's so true, Ben. How are the police responding?
At first, we had a very strong police response, tracking down and arresting as many of the offenders as they could locate, until a few months ago, one of the perpetrators was denied their testosterone blockers and began growing a beard again. AOC was one of the first to speak out, saying they keep persecuting LGBTQ people like me, my boyfriend, and this girl with a beard. And it's just because they want to sleep with me and have foot intercourse.
Yeah, of course.
This caused even more outcry in the Democratic community. Joe Biden even spoke out saying, "We can't be doing the tag it bisset, Jenny. Come on, man." The ACLU.
Strong words from President Biden there.
Yeah, well,
Please.
couldn't expect any less from him.
Very powerful leader.
The ACLU has filed a lawsuit, and the DOJ is currently investigating multiple departments' tactics and training. The average response time in police response has dropped exponentially.
Do you think there's any chance that maybe Jesus Christ will come back and save us before then?
No.
Well,
No, I do not.
that sucks. But I suppose there is hope still, Ben.
Oh?
Well, you are a Jew. What do you and your heathen people know anything about Jesus or salvation? Heck, the only thing you got right was circumcision.
Don't forget media.
That too.
This most recent attack occurred around 2 a.m. outside the Tempe Improv. The group attack was mostly college students out on Christmas break. But among them, and who people are speculating to be the primary target for the attack, was comedian Patton Oswalt. The police have not released footage of the attack yet, but Oswald was reported to be in the ICU after undergoing emergency surgery. His full list of injuries is unknown, but a source did tell us about the moderate to severe hemorrhaging in his testicles, thighs, and his broken coccyx.
For our viewers who don't know, Patton Oswalt is a self-described LGBTQ and some other numbers ally, and total fucking asshole of a person. But recently has come under fire for a photo on Instagram where he both posed with and praised transphobic and also racist comedian Dave Chappelle. Speaking on their long friendship, is the thinking that this is a response to the photo, maybe a type of retaliation, Ben?
I can't confirm that at this time, but it doesn't seem coincidental. Many of the LGBTQIA+ community posted clips of his old stand-up where he made openly transphobic jokes, and neither side of the debate was pleased with his apology.
Don't be a fence sitter, that's what I always say. Pick a side.
And which side are you on?
We'll be right back after a message from our sponsors. Why the fuck would you ask me that? Do you want some a little bit of vodka
Look,
while
I
we're
drew a
on
black
commercial? Oh my god, look at that! That's blackface. Oh shit! It didn't.